Hey guys, so a couple of days ago I put out a poll asking the fans, you guys, what you would like to see more of in my videos, whether that be Marvel, DC, or other things like Doctor Who and even more obscure but still very popular things like The Boys. So the results are in, and by a landslide, surprisingly, it's actually Doctor Who you guys want to see more of. So today we're going to do exactly that. I've got the TARDIS on, time and relative dimension in space, and today I want to talk a little bit about the episode that started it all, at least for my generation, Rose. Now, this particular episode has Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor, and he plays a darker incarnation. Now, we do later find out that this is due to the effects of the Time War, but the whole idea is, especially back in 2005, you had darker sort of films. I think it was Batman Begins came out in 2005, and possibly I don't know, I wasn't born then. Well, halfway through the year I was, but that's besides the point. So Doctor Who comes out in March. Now I have to find the exact time or date, but 26th of March 2005. So all in all, it came out a few days before I was born. I think Batman Begins did come out at that time as well. So it was really the time for turning our beloved childhood heroes, or at the time anyway, with adults, their childhood heroes. Adam West Batman, you had things like Tom Baker's Doctor. These were all very light-hearted, in a way, characters, and they turned them into very serious, very gritty characters. So that's what they did with the Doctor. They invented the Time War, and then later down the line, the War Doctor, being John Hurt, and they brought back Doctor Who. So they brought it back, and they brought it back with what I personally think is some of the best music ever to grace our screens, with Murray Gold. Don't think there's been someone better as of yet, but maybe that's just me. So they bring it back, and it, all in all, series 1, episode 1, Rose, is a pretty okay episode. I've literally just finished rewatching it for probably the second time in like 5 years. So it's not one I've revisited a lot, but it after rewatching it, it's a good one. And knowing what I know now, you've got the Autons in it, you've got the Doctor, you've got the mention of him being a legend literally woven throughout history. And you also get introduced to Rose, who she's not my favourite companion. I'm just going to say it. All you Rose and 10 fans who think they should live happily ever after, even if it is on a parallel world where the Doctor is human. I don't like 10 and Rose. I've never been fond of Rose as it is, but watching her and where she started and knowing where she ends up, it's nice to revisit that sometimes and just think, they're planting seeds for this, they're planting seeds for that. They were planting seeds for the Time War in the first episode with the whole idea that Christopher Eccleston's Ninth Doctor literally wiped out the Nestene consciousness, his planet. And he's saying, no, it's not my fault. And this iteration of the show also introduces us to the sonic screwdriver, but not like we've seen it before, because now it comes in a brand new shape with a blue light. Now, if that's not awesome, I don't know what is. So that's basically Rose in a nutshell. Now, is it the best episode of the Christopher Eccleston era? Probably not. I mean, maybe you might really, really, really like Rose. Me personally, I don't. I like Father's Town. Father's Day. I like Boomtown as well, but like Father's Day, The Empty Child, and The Doctor Dances, they are banging episodes. Bad Wolf and The Parting of Ways, again, brilliant. So I do think Christopher Eccleston's time on the show was cut short, but I also think that without 9 being such a short, having such a short span, we wouldn't have had this almost cultural phenomenon that was 10 and David Tennant. So I think it's a very double-edged sword, because you've got, yes, on the one hand, Christopher Eccleston was great and we love him, but at the same time, it was necessary for him to be so short for David Tennant to then really come into his own. So for me personally, I think it was the right decision. Now, David Tennant isn't my favourite Doctor, neither is Matt Smith. I am a big fan of the Capaldi era. Peter Capaldi sits rent-free in my head all day long. He is the best Doctor, in my opinion. I think Matt Smith is probably my second, and then David Tennant sits at a firm third, but that's just my opinion. So, going back to it, he has some really good two-parters, Christopher Eccleston. Aliens of London and World War III, I really like the concept. I don't think the farting works well, but it's trying to open a younger audience, so I get it. Dalek was brilliant. I mean, the Daleks are just so iconic, and they've brought them to life in such a way that really works. And we can't forget Captain Jack Harkness. Wow, it's John Barrowman. He's phenomenal in this. So yeah, all in all, it was a really, I think, not great, although it was good. I think it's more a very effective start to rebooting Doctor Who after so many years off the air. I think that if you take Doctor Who, what it was back in the classic era, and now what it is in what, I don't know what everyone's calling it. I'm calling it the modern era, and then whatever current era that Doctor Who is in now with Disney will be New Who. I think that the modern era certainly wouldn't have become what it was today without that really dark portrayal of Christopher Eccleston, because I think he plays a very tired warrior really well, and I think that carries over into 10, 11, 12, and a little bit of 13, not so much 13, but a little bit of 13. So, you know, he really set the groundwork for, he's a warrior, but he is also the Doctor. And then obviously 10 expanded on that with the whole, you know, I am a warrior, but I won't pick up a gun type thing. And then Matt Smith added this big really sort of kindness in his face, but there's a darkness in his eyes, and then it all comes to a head in 12, where he's just a madman with a box. And I think that's the beauty of Doctor Who, because it can just regenerate the show, and I think that's what they're doing at the moment with Disney, because if you're rolling it out globally, it does need to be regenerated slightly, and you're not going to want to start on series 14, you're going to want to start on series 1. So I see why they did it. I don't like it, but I see why. So back going back to the point for one final time, in conclusion, I would have to say that Rose was not perfect, but a very effective way to reintroduce Doctor Who to a modern audience. And that's pretty much it. So, I will probably do more Doctor Who stuff maybe once a week, fingers crossed. But for now, I'll catch you guys in the next one.